So, I'm a theater major, and when given a choice, I always prefer to do my project on something theater related. So, I decided to look for a script from the early 1900s for this archival project I'm doing. I was directed by Dr. Nix to check out the Victorian pop culture website, and there I found this really neat Sweeney Todd script. You can tell that the script is old because it's got this faded tan color and torn edges, and on the very top of the script it says price 1 penny, and I've never known anything in my entire life to only cost a penny, so you can tell that that also tells you how old this script is. Underneath the price, it says Dick Standard Plays Sweeney Todd by George Dibdin Pitt. And then it has a nice illustration of Sweeney sending one of his victims down the chute after he's slit his throat. The Victorian Pop Culture website doesn't have a date listed for when this particular script was published, but I looked it up on PBS and found that Pitt published his first version of Sweeney Todd in 1847. I also found on the PBS website that the story started out in 1825 in France. It was published in the Telltale magazine as a real story, and the title was A Terrible Story of the Rue de la Harpe. George Dibdin Pitt rewrote and adapted the story for the stage. The show had its debut at the Britannia Theatre in London, and has been performed on many stages since. I knew that choosing this script as my artifact meant that I needed to search for ticket stubs or cast lists or reviews as my other artifacts. It was actually really difficult to find some stuff that I could use, but I did end up finding 2 American reviews of Sweeney Todd from newspapers in the 1920s. The first article I found was titled, Sweeney Todd, Olden Melodrama Revived. Like other plays of a former day, it turns comic where seriously meant. It was printed in the New York Times on July 19, 1924. Oddly, there isn't a journalist listed. The article starts out with a cast list and is followed by 5 paragraphs of praise for the play. The author talks a lot about how American theater is more humorous than English theater. He basically says that Sweeney Todd is more fit for America. The second article I found also highly praised the American rendition of the play. The article is from The Times and was printed on March 6, 1928. It was printed under the entertainment section and was titled A Box at the Elephant, and underneath the title it says Sweeney Todd. The journalist begins by telling us about his seats at the theater. He and his date almost arrived late, and most of the seats were taken, so they were offered a box. He thought he wouldn't like the box seating, but he ended up loving it, and he went on to talk about the wonderful social aspect of going to the theater. After that, he mentions the show itself. He used the phrase, temporarily suspended in belief. He criticized the actor who played Sweeney, but critiquing is his job, so he's got to do it. I found that the script, along with the 2 reviews, all led to the idea that Sweeney Todd's 165-year existence isn't just happenstance. There's a reason this play has stuck around for so long. Good writing, gory scenes, and quality characters make for great entertainment. Even UT has gotten in on the action a few times.